Hey everybody, it is Chuck Barone. It's Friday, October the 4th, 2024. Today's theme, what a difference a day makes. Wow, I'm not a very good singer, but wow. That's all I can say. Got up this morning really early, watching the CNBC knuckleheads do their thing, and was looking to see this jobs number, and boom, it came in, and what a freaking I don't know if any of you guys saw it, but it was really funny because it's just everything is so political right now that nobody liked this. Obviously the left people on the left who are supporting Harris were super happy to see this gigantic number that I'm talking about on CNBC. And the people on the right, Joe Kernan, Santelli, and a few of the other guys were freaking out and talking about how it was super inflationary, right? And this big brawl started. It was just funny to watch it. But the bottom line is the jobs number that they reported was colossal, way more than they thought they were going to get. Looks like we got this port strike settled. Looks like Biden and his friends very quietly got involved and saw to it that a deal got made. So the docks are open and back at work. And they got themselves a pretty fat raise. We'll talk about that a little later and talk about probably why these guys deserved it. So yeah, crazy day today, man. Now we just got to fix this Israel-Iran thing, and wow, all the big storm clouds kind of fade to little clouds that aren't looking like they could be turned into a giant friggin' tornado. Anyway, before I get rolling, guys, let me take a half a second. Welcome everybody to the show. It's good to have you guys here. Thank you to everybody on the chat. Usual guys, Wolf, David Molly, of course. We got Dean on, Donna. Nice to see you, Donna. We've been hanging out a lot lately. Good to see you. And I see Donna mentioning, no toilet paper at Costco, guys. Now hopefully with the strike averted, they'll be able to get toilet paper back in and you'll be able to buy it soon before you run out, hopefully, right? But Tempest in a teapot, that one was. But it just goes to show you the mentality people have. And it's funny, though, because we constantly read hear about how everybody's so friggin' broke and they can't afford a $400 emergency, right? But yet, at a drop of a hat, people will run to Costco and boom. So I'm not so sure about some of these stats we get. But anyway, again, I babble. Welcome to the show. And as always, everybody, really sincerely and wholeheartedly, thank you, everybody, for your support. All those thumbs up you guys been hitting, helping get the show out there. Our views are back up. We're almost up to 1,000 a day. Again, guys, we're going to get past that and keep it growing. And it's all because you guys much appreciate it. All right, so let's talk about markets today. Let's wrap this crazy-ass week up. Man, it's been like friggin' the Comet roller coaster at Crystal Beach when I was a kid. Nuts, man. It was like, yesterday I was convinced that if all of this stuff continued, the ripples continued like they were, man, the Fed was really going to have some issues. Now they got some issues, but a completely different kind, right? So the jobs report comes in, just a blowout number, more than 100,000 more jobs last month than they anticipated. So the stock market just was like a rocket taking off right out of the gate. Stocks up across the board. Listen to these numbers, guys. The Dow up 341 points today, 42,352. Right back almost to record territory. The NASDAQ up 219 points. Boom, right back up almost to record territory, 18,137. The S&P up 51 points, 5,051 on the S&P. Again, everything today. The stock market just went buy. And a lot of interesting stuff I've been reading. I just want to, I could talk on this show for a friggin' hour every day, but a lot of interesting things pointing to higher stocks. And higher stocks, if they really believe that's true, tell me that the economy is probably going to stay pretty good. Now, we all have our suspicions that they're kind of, artificial respiration to keep this economy going until after the election, and we will see how that plays out. But for right now, at least, stock market got a clear path to bigger gains. Company earnings still up a little price. I think the average PE is about 22 right now, which is kind of high. But stock's on a good path right now. Now, the bond market, the exact opposite, man. Bonds selling off like crazy. Everybody, these half point or more rate cut guys got a slap in the face today. So the bond market really reacted. The 10-year. Now remember, guys, when prices go up, yields come down. When prices go down, yields come up, right? Like a teeter-totter. So the 10-year today, selling off, jumps 13 basis points, man. That's a pretty big move, up to 3.98%. So now the 10-year probably going to go back up over 4% any friggin' second now. The 2-year, though, jumps 21 basis points. Now, this is the short end of the market for treasuries, at least, and they're reflecting big rate cuts not going to happen. 21-point jump, 21 basis points, man. That's a huge, huge number for the market. The 2-year yield now at 3.93%. So remember how I was telling you, first we had the inverted yield where the shorter term rates were higher than the longer term. And it righted itself. So the shorter term rates were where they were supposed to be. Well, now, and then it was spreading. At first it was 1 point. But now the 2-year at 9.3, the 10-year at 9.8. So now there's only 5 basis points again. So that's, I just hope it doesn't reinvert. It's crazy, man. The bond market up its freaking rocker. The dollar today, this jobs report bolstering the dollar, plus the other economies around the world just don't seem to be doing well as ours. So the dollar strengthening like crazy, up 59 basis points today. 102.50 on the index, man. A great, strong number for a strong dollar guy like I am. I know, hate me for it, guys, but I'm a strong dollar guy, and it's good in my mind. Good to see a strong dollar. Precious metals today, well, kind of a weird mixed thing again today. Gold falls, but just $2.10. So gold sitting at $2,654.40. Silver, on the other hand, rises up 16 cents today, $32.14. So gold kind of stalling out a little bit. I don't believe we're anywhere near the end of the bull run in gold yet, though. But gold kind of just floating in place a little bit, getting the lay of the land. That's not a bad number when you see the dollar jumping up like it did. But silver is the one that's making me happy, guys. Firmly, solidly now consolidating above $30. It looks like now they're really building strength in silver above $30. Let's keep it going, man. Oil today rises again, up 91 cents, $74.62 for a barrel of West Texas Intermediate. So now it's kind of getting toward the top. We have been seeing oil for a while between 70 and 75. It's still there, and sometimes it spikes higher, sometimes it spikes lower. But right now, getting back up toward almost to the top of our 75 number. I'm telling you, though, guys, this is all about the threat of a big war. I don't really believe that Iran wants to fight a big war with Israel. I think they prefer to do it the way they've been doing it with their proxies. I'm not so sure about Israel. I think Israel sees an opening right now to really let Iran have it. So we'll see how it plays out. But if they can make some kind of peace settlement, oil prices will come right back down to where they were into the 60s. And Bitcoin today, Bitcoin rallies up $1,681, 62,464. So Bitcoin, man, a nice move for Bitcoin because it went down, just about touched that 60,000, which is now support, bounced right back up, 62,400 and change. So good signals for Bitcoin right now. It's not completely consolidated yet. We'll be watching that, and let's see how it plays out next week. All right, so let's talk about the data today. The big number, the jobs blowout, man. Wow, guys, a crazy-ass number, man. Economists saw nothing like this coming. Gigantic shock to the market to the upside. 254,000 jobs in September. They were expecting 147, which a lot of people thought was optimistic. I've read a few analysts already who are doubting this number. They're talking and they're pointing to a low response rate by corporations this time around. They do is they send out these surveys. The Department of Labor does this, not Wall Street or banks or whatever. Department of Labor sends out these monthly surveys. Only 62% responded this month. The usual number is closer to 70%. So they're saying, oh, red flag, blah, 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 where this number is going to get revised down, blah, blah, blah. Interestingly, August and July were both revised higher. So we all been looking at these revisions, especially that 1 month. They really revised the number down in a huge way. Well, now, it goes both ways. Now the number is revised up this time around. So let's just say it like we're seeing it here. These are the numbers we get, but these are the numbers we have to use. And it looks to me like these numbers indicate the economy is going pretty good, guys. And you can already see Wall Street freaking the frick out about it. Unemployment rate falls to 4.1% from 4.2. So now it's reversed itself. It actually peaked out at 4.3, down to 4.2, now 4.1. Good news on the jobs deal. Now that's not a big move, 0.1%, but it's a significant move because it just shows the turn. Job unemployment rate spiked up, was under 4% for a long freaking time. Spiked back up to 4.3. Everybody was like, okay, here we go. Even the Fed, that was one of the big reasons they cut a 0.5 point. Now, boop, 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 the turn made. Now it's coming right back down. I think that the market reacted huge today. You saw the bond market, strong reaction. Futures markets, listen to this, guys. Remember we were talking, you've heard me, well, I should say I'm talking, about the odds on the futures market for the November Fed meeting. Will they cut a 0.5? Will they cut a 1/4? What's the deal? And I've been telling you guys a little bit about the odds on that. Right now, they're pricing in less than a 1/4 point rate cut. Basically pricing in no rate cut at all in November. So the market's turned around on that quickly. We'll see now. We're going to get another jobs report. We're going to get CPI next week. We'll get another CPI before the November meeting. So there's still some big data coming. So that's going to kind of tip the way things are working. As it stands right now, I believe the Fed will still cut another 1/4 in the November meeting. I don't really see the 0.5 point coming. You don't want to cut another 0.5 into a decent economy. I shouldn't say strong. It's not real. Once real estate is out of it, it can't be strong. But a decent economy. And we're going to be talking about it. We're going to be watching it, man. We're living history, guys. I'm telling you, this is a very weird time in U.S. history. I've been around for a lot of years of it. And I'm telling you, 100 years from now, they're going to look at this era, they're going to study this era, and they're probably going to conclude that all of us were out of our friggin' minds. All right, moving on. The port workers back on the job, guys. I cannot tell you how big that is. If this strike would have lingered, it would have just upset the entire apple cart. Bully to whoever it was that got these guys to sit down at the table and hammer this deal out. Pretty good deal for the workers. Truthfully, pretty good deal for the bosses too, guys. The bosses agreed to a 62% pay increase over the next 6 years. Now, that's a pretty big jump, but over 6 years, okay. Now, it's funny to me, guys. So many people pissed off that these guys got these big raises. I don't know. It's crazy to me that if you're going to pay a worker $1 an hour more, that's a big inflation thing. And everybody freaks the frig out about it, especially the talking heads on the market, right? And people upset these big pay raises. But listen to this, guys. Profits at these ports, okay? Profits at these ports is up 350 billion freaking dollars since 2020, over 4 years. Now, we all know what's happened to the cost of shipping stuff, transportation. We saw it. We're seeing it everywhere. Remember how everybody was freaking out about the cost of goods and how way we transport everything in trucks in this country was contributing to inflation. We talked about it on and on and on and on, right? So it's interesting to me, however, that employees getting raises is a big inflationary. That's what they were arguing about this morning, Leisman and versus Kernan, and it was fun to watch it. But how come nobody gets crazy or pissed off, right? Now they made $350 billion freaking dollars. Guess what? The employees didn't share in that. That went to bosses' salaries, probably stock buybacks, dividends, all to the shareholders' profits, right? That's not what their profit was. That was additional profit. Okay. So now the workers getting in, sharing a little bit of the profits here. I don't see how that really is inflationary. Is it inflationary if you pay a worker or if you buy back stock? You pay a worker or you give the boss a bonus? I guess the worker more likely to spend it into the economy than a stock buyback or the boss who's going to buy it, stash it in his $1 billion savings. But nobody says boo when the boss makes 50 million, right? The bosses are making, 400 times more than the average worker. Nobody says anything about that. Nobody says anything about $1 billion stock buybacks. Pay the workers, though, everybody freaks the frig out about it. So now we'll see. Let's see. Will this be inflationary? I'm not so sure that, this very, very, very small portion of our population getting a pay raise. And the PS, some of these guys are going to really make lawyer money now, but most of these guys are making, they're going to go from 60 to 70 to 80, maybe 90,000. Good living, man, but these guys bust ass, man. Okay? So a very, very well-deserved raise for these knuckleheads. Economists say housing prices, listen to this, man, housing prices need to fall 28% to make houses affordable again. The median price across the United States right now, $383,000, meaning 50% of the housing sales in the United States higher than $383,000. Here in Vegas, $479,000. In friggin' Reno, $610,000 is the median price. So real estate prices need to come down, but how do you do it? What's the catalyst that makes real estate crash out? You're going to have something like 2008 where everybody's getting kicked out of their house happen again? No. It's not going to happen that way because there are no 100% financing loans like there were back then. There's no subprime loans. Everybody's got down payments and skin in the game. A lot of people sitting on big equity they've made over the past couple of years. What's going to cause prices to go down, guys? I got to tell you, I've been in real estate going on 30 friggin' years already, and I'm just not seeing a reason for prices to come down. Buyers are already on the sidelines. Investors picking up the slack, no problem. Sales are down. Okay. But guess what? The rest of the world, certainly not affecting the overall economy the way I thought it would. So here we go. Anyway, it's just the craziest stuff, guys. And here's just to finish it out with a wonderful little tidbit to finish the week. We all saw what happened from this Hurricane Helen smashing everything to smithereens in Florida, flooding all the way up into friggin' North Carolina, got hammered, man. Just flooded up to their eyeballs. And here's the bad thing, guys. Here's the thing that's really going to be painful. All of these victims, Georgia, all the way, Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, the whole South kind of got a piece of this. A lot of flooding all throughout the South. The vast, vast majority of those people had no flood insurance. Now you got to understand, if you have homeowners insurance and you own a house, you have homeowners, and your house floods, that's not covered on your homeowner's policy. The U.S. government covers floods because floods are considered an act of God. Insurance companies don't cover that because the combined loss could be too great, could sink the whole company. So the only people that do flood insurance are the U.S. government. And you think the government, now these people didn't buy this flood insurance. So now they're flooded. They have no insurance to cover it. What in the frig happens next there? Does the federal government just write checks to all these people? Do they just let them? What happens? We're going to watch this very, very, very closely because I'm telling you guys, you're going to see more and more and more of this as these weather events continue to happen. There's already another hurricane threatening to smash Florida again already. Craziest times. Anyway, guys, that's it for the day. That's it for the week. We know next week's going to be a monster with CPI and a whole bunch of other important data. Let's all get the hell out of here. Have a great weekend. Enjoy a little NFL. Enjoy some time with family and people you care about, your friends. Hang out. Have a cold one. Smoke a cigar. Have some nice dinners. Enjoy your lives, guys. It's a short ride and you only get one trip, So everybody go forth and have a super awesome weekend. The Bills got the Texans this weekend. After last week, I got my worries on this game. We can't let Stephon Diggs' team beat us. So it's going to be a fascinating weekend. Fun coming. We'll be back on Monday, everybody, to bring you the news you need. Until then, everybody, have an awesome weekend. Thanks.